Good morning, and today is going to be Ace Queen. We are playing at a 7-handed game right now. I am in mid position. I get Ace Queen, folds to me. I open raise. I think this is pretty standard play. It's what I'm working with here. Low jack position, raise first in. Easily something like this. I'm going to dump some of my offsuits. King, Jack, Ace 10, Ace Jack. Those are all kind of iffy. They're maybes. Maybe we do it, or maybe we open, maybe we don't. Just kind of depends on the table, how I feel. So it looks like I've been at this table for a while. You can see I've got quite a few loose players at the table. 40%, 40 for the VPIP, it's 40%, 43%, 64%, 50%, 39%. I mean, if they're that loose, we've got a premium hand. I think we're going to be raising this, try to get more money in the pot. Same thing if you have kind of like King Jack, Ace Jack off. I think raising in this spot is good because we're trying to get more money in the pot, because we expect these players to be calling more loosely than a standard player. Button calls. I have 200 hands on him. He's playing 39.5. Unfortunately, when we look at his button stats, his VPIP is 50%. But you can see the pre-flop raise is 1 because he's 3-bet. His limp first in, raise first in really hasn't had much opportunity. And then the button is at 13, or the call is 13%, which really means he's limping behind with previous limpers a huge number of times. So it's kind of difficult to really judge, how loose is he. This is 45%. It's possible that is kind of like his limping range. And the limping range could be 100% his calling range too. So 44% could be super wide like this, could be even tighter because it's a raise. It is just very difficult to really judge because he hasn't been in this spot a whole lot. I guess closest one could be like mid position, 32% called a 2-bet versus limp with previous limper, 64%, so 9 out of 14. Maybe he tightens up a little bit. So if he's going to tighten up, I think we have kind of tightened up. Let's go with this range and see what it looks like. Then we have the big blind raises, and this is kind of interesting because he's playing 40% VPIP, 8% pre-flop raise, but 2% 3-bet. So I think this guy's gonna have a pretty darn tight 2-betting range. This doesn't look like this is a squeeze at all. I think this is 100% raise for value. You can see his 3-bet by position, 4 out of 189. Basically, he's only done it from the blinds, from small blind and big blind. Now, this could be that he's defending, very wide, or it's just that he managed to get hands in this position. So, I'm thinking something like this: queens plus ace king. This is it. I think this is the only thing he's gonna have. Super tight. So then it's back onto me, and it's like, okay, so what do I do? Well, we've got another player in the pot. I think if villain was wider, we would be raising a lot more, but I think at this point we're really just going to be tightening up. I don't see a reason to raise. So here's the thing. I think we can go. I don't know if I don't think I have 3-bet stats in here. Now, if we were to just look at some of the hand charts, I think we are looking at 3-betting just like this. Or I'm sorry, 4-betting with this. And that includes ace queen. But I don't think I don't think my 3-betting range is going to do too well against him. I mean, we have an ace, we have a queen, so aces and queens are less likely. There's 6 combinations of both of those together, and then 6 combinations of kings. So it's equally likely that he has kings as he has aces or queens. And really, I don't like any of them, because if he has queens and I have a queen, I'm looking at, catching 3 outs. That's all I have. So I think because villain is so tight, we could make an argument to fold, which again seems like super tight. I think we actually have ace queen in there too. I think we could make an argument to fold and just be done with the hand. If we look at hands that we are basically going to call with, hand charts say something like this, and then we have a bunch of other, several other hands that are like maybes. I think, in this situation, I think we're going to change what we have to try to maximize our win. So a player like this, I think, if they have an overpair, they're probably going to be paying off. So I think I'm going to deviate a little bit here. Instead of making 3 bets with like queens and making 3 bets with kings, I think what we're doing is going to be playing something like this, because he's such a tight range, is playing a calling range like that, because I think villain's going to tell us if we're good or not on the flop. So if we catch an ace and he checks, I think we're probably good. If we miss and if there's a king and he continues betting, we're behind. So I think at this point, we could fold because he's so tight, but we do have some equity against him with our ace queen. So how much equity? Let's check. Move this over here. So we have ace queen versus I think that is it. 28%. Not great. So kind of say 70-30 is an approximation. I did call. So I'm going to go here because I really do think, and I'm sure I thought about this, that this guy's going to be super tight. I don't want to 3-bet ace queen, because if I 3-bet, he could just go ahead and, or if I 4-bet, he's just going to be raising me with with probably this entire range again, and I don't really want to go in and race, especially with our stacks, because he's got, we have over 100 big blind stacks. So that's going to be my super tight call. And then villain 5 calls. And the question is did he tighten up at all? I'm going to say yes, he did. I'm going to say this is he does have position, but I don't think he's going to call with all of these hands. With how loose he is, he's definitely going to be coming along. We'll say something like this, where it's probably more heavily weighted to those pocket pairs. All right, so the flop comes queen 8-7, which is actually pretty good for us. We flop top pair, but we're behind aces and kings. So 6 kings, 3 aces. Now there's only one combination of queens out there. So 9 plus 10, so 10 combinations. So here, 10 combinations of pocket pairs, and then you have 16 combinations, actually less than that, 12 combinations of ace king. All right, so villain 1 bets 38. Still betting. Would he bet ace king? I don't think so. I think villain has You know, 75% VPIP out of position, 43% out of position, 75 in. I think with this, he's betting if he has something. I think Ace King probably just checks folds. He could have a flush draw, I guess. I guess we can give him that. So maybe he has Ace King of Diamonds. But he is just overly strong. I think I am way behind here. Yep, I think I am just way behind here. This is a super tight fold, and really, I think we call with a set. I think we call with a set. I think we call with an overpair, and that's about it. And we probably call with a flush draw. That's about all we have. We don't have much draws. I think that's all we call with. Ace King, you're gonna be surprised I folded, but I really do think this guy is tight. He's passive. That's the thing. He's passive. This guy's passive. They're not going to be raising unless they have the goods, and he bet. That's a large bet. That's a pot size bet. I think with Ace King, you're going to see somebody bet like half pot. They're going to bet smaller because they're scared. They're going to try to conserve money. That's it. That's a bet that says I'm not scared of any hand that you have. So he bets, and then this guy goes all in. So he goes all in. What's he going to go all in with? Well, he could easily have his draws, sets, overpair, top pair. I'm going to say top pair probably, along with draws. So we'll do flush draws and open-ended straight draws is what he can possibly be going in with. And then I think he's just going to call with everything that he currently has. And I'm done. We're done with it. So right now, I think Villain 1's going to be pretty strong favorite. And we do get the run out. We get a king, and then we get a 10, and that's just a crazy run out, if you ask me. That wouldn't have been good for me at all. Even if I call, the king, it would be hard for me to call again. So I think I'm glad I did that. So let's check the hands. Kings, yep, definitely tight. He had it. It's kind of an expectation that I had. What did Villain have? Villain, pocket 8, so he hit trips too. Oops. And that was in there. Kind of had a feeling that he was calling with, probably a pocket pair, hoping to hit a set. I think that's a little unfortunate that he had kings, but I think he played it. I think he probably played it correctly. He flopped trips. I think he's only behind the pocket queens. He got it in when he was a pretty strong favorite and lost. Happens to all of us. So anyways, how do I think I played? I think I played the same pretty decently. I think this was less of like GTO and more exploitative play. I think this is being cautious because we don't know what Villain's going to be doing. Actually, we're playing cautious because we suspect Villain's going to have a very, very strong hand, and that strong hand is basically crushing us pre-flop. Could we have folded pre-flop? Yeah, we could have, but I kind of think that's a little bit. I think we give up a little too much equity, especially with that third player in the pot. We kind of assumed that if I call, this player might call too. So we're getting decent odds. Let's go back to that. Yep. So we have to call 9.5. Pot's currently 19, so we're at like 2-1 right now. We kind of expect him to call, so we'll be closer 3-1. So we need 25% equity. We are getting that. Just heads up against Villain 1, maybe not against Villain 6. So, you know, if we add this and recalculate it, yeah, it would be close. We're getting about 3 to 1, but we do have some implied odds too. So if we connected, so I think if we've connected with the flush, we're getting paid. So there's some of that. I think if you flop an ace, we're probably getting paid, as long as this player might not pay us, but this player probably will with kings. At least one more bet. All right, so hopefully you enjoy this hand. Had to review it. I thought ace queen. Why did I fold this when I flopped top pair? Makes perfect sense once we build the range. This guy's pretty tight. All right, hopefully you like this. If you do, look tomorrow for another.